So today's unit is all about loving the space you live in, and I'm super excited to introduce Alexandra Ganipeau, who is an interior decorator, and we like to call her a home editor, and she's got a huge passion for creating a space in your home which you love and loving the space that you live in. And one of the things that Alexandra says is she truly believes that in one's home, the most precious things are attached to memories, and that is what makes your home as unique as your family. So today we're going to interview Alexandra and have a chat, and she's going to give us some great tips on loving the space you live in. So, Alexandra, would you like to start and tell us a bit about yourself?
Hey, Gab. Well, my name's Alexandra. I've been in Melbourne for a long time. I'm French, but I've been here for over 20-something years. And when I first came to Australia, we had zero money, like nothing, you know. We slept on mattresses in our first flats, and it was the pretty, you know, not pretty and crappy walls, and we couldn't do anything. And I thought for me, having a home it was always so important. So no matter how shitty the flat we rented, we always made sure. The problem is, you know, starting getting money was really hard to buy furniture and things. And then where do you go? Because I thought antique were just too expensive and I didn't want to do IKEA. And I found that Australia, which I've never seen in France, people put things on the street. And I started to gather lots and lots of rejected and somehow created, I know it sounds really crazy because I wouldn't do it exactly. I still pick things from the street, but, you know, except that bed and couch. I started to pick, you know, the odd frames and the odd things. And over 20 years, I have accumulated, not just from the street, but a lot of old stuff. And I think for me, I don't know if it's my French heritage, just surrounding yourself for me with things that are soothing and are beautiful and have a story. It's just home. So that's how we, you know, it's a 20-something years accumulation of things, and there you go. That's what I do. So just gather things and make them look pretty.
And I guess when you have things that have beautiful memories attached to them, it must increase your happiness because you are reminded of those good times.
Absolutely. And you know, it's one of those things. I think we really don't need much if we think about it. We really don't. You need, you know, you need a bed and a couch and a table. Like you do need obviously a few basics. And I think, you know, if we focused a little bit more on things that we really love, that, you know, things that we look, whether it's aesthetically or whether it's a use or, you know, whatever people get out of it, I think it's so, it will definitely transform your place into something that belongs to you. So, I mean, you know, that it's not about quantity or having all the gadgets and it's really not about that. It's about choosing something that just suit your aesthetic and suit your use. And obviously the family. I think when we share home, we have to make sure there's something for everyone as well.
Yeah. Yes, that's true, isn't it? So, all right, let's start with some of the questions that we came up with today. How do you think your home affects your state of mind?
Tremendously, and I'm sure at the moment as well with what's going on, we all in our home. Some people call it stuck. I don't. I'm actually quite cruising. I'm a homebody. Like I truly am a homebody, so it's completely fine. But I think at the moment, I think people have really realized how important it is, you know, because, you know, even somebody like me, I love being home. I'm home all the time. I've had a few days where I felt a bit overwhelmed what's going on, where my bedroom, my living room, you know, my world has just sort of, so I think it's really important to really pay attention to your space and how it makes you feel. Like, you know, not everybody's got, you know, beautiful whatever's designed home or, you know, or the modern thing that they want or the old fashioned thing that they want. You know, sometimes you just live somewhere and that is just all there is to it. But you you can, I think it just takes a little bit of effort, but you can transform any place, any dump into something very livable and very cozy. And it's not about things. It's just about how you put things together, and it's about how you can move in it, and how it just makes you feel. And that is just, there's so many expressions about home, coming home, and when they say, what's the one I don't like? It's always funny, like go hard or go home. It's like, what does that mean? I love going home. What is that about?
Funny.
But yeah, so I think it is very important to just surround yourself with, not too much of what you don't need, just enough, like if you love, I don't know, whatever it is, you love art, just put it everywhere if it makes you happy. And then there are little tips to make it, to display it better. But otherwise, it's just about, just surround yourself with things you love.
Yeah.
I mean, a few things that we all, like I don't like electronics. I don't even have a kettle. And I don't, no microwave, no kettle. I don't have a big kitchen. I don't have room for them. I don't want to see them. Well, we boil water. That's just all there is to it.
And why not?
Yeah, because
the same outcome.
That's it. And I think that's the thing. There are no real rules. They're few, but break them all. It's fine.
Yeah. So everyone's talking about decluttering and, clearing out their space. So what would your top tips be when you're decluttering your home?
Okay. Well, decluttering has been huge over the last couple of years with, Marie Kondo and all this. And I think people want to leave.
Just pause us for 2 minutes while my son wants to talk to us. I'll be 2 minutes.
Absolutely fine.
I'm so sorry. So we were talking about Marie Kondo.
And decluttering. Well, there's been a huge emphasis. And I think, obviously, decluttering is awesome. I love it because we have too much. There is no question. We have too much of everything. We have too many clothes, too many shoes, too many things in our house, too many gadgets, too much of everything. No question. Having said that, I found this. I think a lot of people, especially, I think it's better now, but for a while, the decluttering was being crazy because it was almost, let's just purge everything so we can buy again, which I think was a little bit, it was really not the idea. It was like, oh, well, I got rid of all my clothes I didn't wear, so now I can just go and buy new things. And I think it's all about a bit, I like consciousness, yes. And I like conscious decluttering, which is let's truly what is broken, what is really not used. But I mean, there are a few things we absolutely can get rid of, but in a way that if it's just to restock, it's pretty pointless. But yes, tip for decluttering, I think you just do it room by room. I think it can get just overwhelming. So, one day just do kids' bedroom. I usually, like, I don't even know how I think things. I think they breed at night, all the stuff in the kids' bedroom, because I'm sure I haven't bought him stuff, and suddenly I'm looking, it's just everywhere. So room by room, and I think you just, might take a day, might take two, involve, the person in charge, or, if it's just you, that's fine. But, and just really what is broken, absolutely just chuck. And then there are things, the recycling, and then sometimes decluttering can also be just working on your storage. I think that's the thing as well. It's not always, decluttering is not always necessarily about throwing things. It's about finding a place for it.
And organizing things.
Pardon?
Organizing.
Just to organize and just, I think, and like I said, I think with kids' bedroom, it's just so easy. They have access to everything. And our kids have, honestly, they have more toys, puzzles, books than most kindergarten. Like, if you think about it, one child has more. And I've been giving them access to everything all the time. It's just turned into a disaster and turned into baskets everywhere and stuff on the floor and you can't walk. And then, so I think it's all about putting into storage. I put everything behind doors, all the things that I basically, but because I'm very visual, whatever is not pretty, I literally just put it away. So I don't see it,
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think for decluttering, you go room by room and you just make bags or baskets, or, some people I've seen, I did a challenge a while ago with the laundry basket. You go to whatever and you fill it with things you don't want, and then you go and chuck it, and then you come back and you go around the house. And just like this, it's quite easy to get rid of a few things. And then it's about also moving. And that's where it does get a bit tricky. I think people, when they start decluttering, they think it's going to look, they kind of go the wrong way. They go and buy storage. So they go and buy boxes and things, and not knowing actually what it is they're going to need. And then it all gets, you just got stuff everywhere, and you end up with boxes that you don't know where to put. It's not going to work. So step by step, first you get rid, throw away what you don't need, what's broken, what you hate, what, old presents that, so we all have presents that you get and that you don't like.
You hide them away.
We all do. And it's like, okay, you go, I'll just give it to somebody. But I'm like, actually, I want people to think that I bought that. So just, get rid of things. I think we are way too attached to things because they've cost money, or because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I know they're all valid reasons, but I think that's why, the consciousness, I think, goes into it. Let's just not buy things we don't need. Let's just not buy things we don't like.
Yeah.
And if somebody gives you something you really, really don't love, maybe give it to there might be somebody who, like, I don't know, like, for example, those hand creams. I'm really peculiar with the hand cream I'm giving. Some of them feel a little bit plasticky, and I don't like that. I like I'm a big snob. I like the organic one, or well, I'm getting the other one. Those are perfectly gorgeous presents to some other people. I just give them, but some of the stuff you just it's not going to happen. So that can go straight to the, I'm like the big op. I miss, what I saw, what I miss pedicure, and I miss the op shop. That's all. Everything else, I'm fine. But that's the only thing. So I think for decluttering, it's a bit, and same, and then you do it in your kitchen. I mean, those drawers in the kitchen, I've helped so many people just to pop in to check out their house. Next thing I know, I'm decluttering the kitchen drawers. I've done so many.
My kitchen drawers are a nightmare.
Everybody's. It's hilarious. You're like, what? Okay, how about one drawer where all the mess gathers? That's fine. But unfortunately, sometimes it's like, oh, this one's full. Let's start another one.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's when it gets a little bit, and it's quite funny, because if you go through it, you realize that I would say 80% of things in that drawer you don't need, you don't use. And, little elastics, for example, that's always hilarious how people just don't know what to do with the elastics. Well, put them in a jar, and it's if everything has a spot in your house, I mean, everything, there's no mess. That's it. There's no mess if there's a spot for everything. I think I'm making it sound very simple, but truly,
no, that's good. But that's the truth. So, okay. So what about people who are trying to create a home and they don't know what their style is yet? What are your top tips to sort of find your style and find out what style really resonates with you and what you love?
That's really very tricky, because obviously there are trends, and trends, for a while it was the French, how do they call it? The French provincial, and then there was the, then the Scandi, and then the minimalist was, and I think the problem is people get caught because you look at these stunning magazines. Trust me, I'm the same. I look at magazines and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, and then you go, hang on, where do they put clothes, and where do they put things, and where do it's just, so don't forget, everything people see, it's styled. When we do shoot in my house, it's hilarious because it looks so beautiful, but that's that, couple of square meters that look beautiful. All the mess has been put aside, and the things we don't want. So I think finding a style is a little bit the same. You just have to go with when you see something, just don't worry about the trend. Don't worry about, some people, I think people put too much attention, go, oh, I have kids, I can't have this, or I have that, I can't have this. Sorry, my kid is coming back in.
No.
Ferme la porte. Sorry. Ferme la porte et retourne travailler, mon ange. I think so.
Love that.
And they're lucky, but they don't realize how lucky they are to be bilingual yet. So I think that's the finding your style. It takes time, I think a ready-made home, unless it's unless you have obscene amount of money and you can just buy, yep, I'll have this, that. I mean, who does?
Yeah.
Or